a note left and our daughter's gone.
A note was left and your daughter is gone? How old is your daughter?
6 years old. She's gone. 6 years old.
The snow fell gently over Boulder, Colorado on Christmas night, 1996, as the Ramsey family's stately home glowed warmly in the winter darkness. Inside, all seemed festive and peaceful, a perfect holiday scene. But by morning, 6-year-old JonBenét Ramsey, a child beauty queen adored for her dazzling smile and poised charm, was dead. Her body was discovered in the basement, strangled and bludgeoned, wrapped in a blanket. The crime, horrifying and enigmatic, became one of the most infamous unsolved mysteries in American history. It was a case that began with a frantic 911 call and spiraled into a chilling labyrinth of contradictions, clues, and unanswered questions. The tragedy began in the early hours of December 26, 1996. Patsy Ramsey, JonBenét's mother, called 911 at 5:52 a.m., her voice panicked and trembling. She reported that her daughter had been kidnapped when that a ransom note had been left on the staircase. The note, written on Patsy's stationery, was strange, unusually long, filled with bizarre phrases and demanding an oddly specific sum. $118,000, eerily close to John Ramsey's recent work bonus. Despite the note's explicit warning not to involve the police, Patsy made the call anyway and contacted friends and family who quickly arrived at the house. The result was a chaotic scene, with police and civilians moving freely through the home, contaminating potential evidence. For hours, investigators treated the case as a kidnapping, but everything changed around 1 p.m. when John Ramsey and a family friend decided to search the house. In the basement's little-used wine cellar, John discovered his daughter's body. She was covered in a white blanket, her wrists bound, her mouth duct-taped. A nylon cord fashioned into a garrote had been tightened around her neck, and her skull bore evidence of severe trauma. The discovery was devastating, but it also raised questions. Why hadn't police searched the basement earlier? Why did John move the body, further compromising the scene? From the outset, investigators faced conflicting evidence. The ransom note, at 2.5 pages long, seemed excessive and unnecessary for an intruder who would likely have fled quickly. Handwriting analysis was inconclusive, though experts noted similarities to Patsy's penmanship. There were signs of a break-in, a broken basement window and an open suitcase under it, but no footprints in the snow outside. The DNA evidence recovered from JonBenét's clothing pointed to an unidentified male. Yet some experts argued it could have been contamination from the handling of evidence. Suspicion soon turned inward. Patsy and John Ramsey's behavior came under scrutiny. They lawyered up almost immediately and resisted police interviews, actions that some interpreted as guilt. Theories emerged suggesting that one of the Ramseys had accidentally killed JonBenét and staged the scene to mislead investigators. Another chilling theory pointed to Burke Ramsey, JonBenét's 9-year-old brother. Speculation swirled that he might have struck her in anger, and his parents covered it up to protect him. Interviews with Burke in the years that followed revealed an eerily calm demeanor, fueling further suspicion. However, there was no direct evidence to implicate him or anyone else in the family. Others believed an intruder had slipped into the house that night, perhaps through the broken basement window. The unidentified male DNA lent credibility to this theory, as did reports of a possible scream heard by a neighbor in the early hours. Yet questions lingered. Why would an intruder take the time to write such a lengthy ransom note? Why was the note written on paper from inside the house? Over the years, the case became a national obsession. The media dissected every detail, casting suspicion on the grieving family and turning the murder into a grotesque spectacle. In 2008, DNA testing led authorities to clear the Ramseys of involvement, citing the unidentified male profile as evidence of an intruder. Yet many remain unconvinced, arguing that the family's unusual behavior and the bizarre staging of the crime scene point to their guilt. JonBenét's death remains unsolved, frozen in time as an enduring mystery. Was she the victim of a sinister predator who slipped away unnoticed? Or did the truth lie within the walls of her own home? Decades later, the case still haunts the public imagination, a chilling reminder of innocence lost and justice denied.